Hi, I'm Haley Rogers. I'm an author, university student, and an aspiring entrepreneur. I am ultimately dedicated to helping you become fearlessly authentic. In this podcast, I will be sharing my own insights related to authentic living through various topics such as goal setting, mindfulness, confidence, resilience, and more. Not only will I be sharing my insights, but this podcast will have a Let's Talk series featuring those who have mastered the art of authentic living. There's so much to learn about authentic living, and is one of the most challenging qualities to hold in a world that often strives for conventionality. However, we are on a journey together to learn how we can do just that. Are you ready? Welcome to my first ever episode for the See Me Show. The See Me Show is a fun and motivational podcast that aims to inspire you to embrace the art of authentic living. So you might be wondering who I am and what led me to be starting this podcast. I'll start off the show by introducing myself. So hi, it's nice to meet you. I'm Haley Rogers. I'm 20 years old and I'm a third-year university student from Ontario, Canada. I currently study business at Queen's University and I'm an aspiring entrepreneur. So just backtracking just a bit, at the beginning of university, I was fortunate to become a mental health advocate and a writer. So just a bit about mental health advocacy. It all began with a Queen's-affiliated nonprofit organization called Step Above Stigma. Step Above Stigma aims to promote advocacy and break down the stigma associated with mental health. We also sell these really cute socks, and all proceeds go to other mental health organizations that give individuals mental health resources and support. Honestly, advocacy changed my whole perspective on life. It showed me that by sharing my own story with mental health and other things I've experienced, that it was not only liberating for me, but it could also make an opening for someone else to share their own story. This whole idea of making a positive change in someone's life because I shared my own story is so rewarding. Additionally, I also became a passionate writer in university, so that began within an awesome platform called Her Campus Media, and basically this platform allows college students to write and publish articles. This writing experience allowed me to begin with this whole authentic journey. It allowed me to showcase who I am through my writing, and ultimately allowed me to become a published author. So you're probably wondering, how the heck does a 20-year-old publish a book? Well, actually a 19-year-old, because I was only 19 at the time when I published it. So in January 2019, one of my closest friends, Julia Sun, reached out and said that she had been offered to write a book in 1 year through a program called Creator Institute. And Creator Institute was looking for additional passionate writers to embark on this crazy journey. At first, I was perplexed. I was a bit skeptical about this whole program, but at the same time, my heart was telling me to do it. So I said, why the hell not? I didn't have any sort of clear idea of what I was going to write about. But after a phone call with the head of the organization, Eric Custer, he really brought it out in me. We got talking, he asked me about my passions and my values and who I am as a person, and all tied back to this concept of authenticity. And that's why I decided to write about. I realized I'd been much more happier and experiencing success when I started to stay true to myself, especially with writing and getting involved with mental health advocacy. So I kind of developed this whole idea. To be successful is to be happy first, and to be happy is to be your authentic self. So I realized that so many people are missing this idea. A lot of us strive to be successful first, then we can be happy, and then we can be ourselves. But it's the whole other way around, and we're missing this, especially in youth. And it's later realized when we're much, much older, if we realize it at all. So with this problem I've identified, I decided to write a self-help book geared towards young adults, which aims to inspire readers to live an authentic life through guiding principles and the incredible stories of others who have mastered the art of authentic living. So publishing my book was an exceptional experience, and it was the most rewarding thing I've ever done. And I guess that's what has brought me to you today. So you're probably wondering, why are you starting a podcast? For 3 reasons. 1, I have an incredible passion to help and serve others. I really did this through my book. My goal with my book was to help one single person. And based on the reviews and responses that I've gotten, I've helped many. And I've realized that helping others really fills my soul. And I realized that there's some people that just don't like reading, and that's totally okay. But I also wanted to ensure that I am able to help that whole other market of listeners. And I realized that podcasting is a great outlet to do so. So I wanted to bring my whole concept of preaching authentic living to a podcast. The second is I want to work on my ability to talk. A few weeks ago, I did a podcast interview. And in interviews, in presentations, in any sort of like social situation, I do get pretty nervous, and I did get very nervous in this podcast, and I did beat myself up after because I felt like I didn't say everything I needed to say because I did get a bit nervous. And so anytime I do beat myself up, I usually go for a drive to have a bit of self-reflection to calm down. And I kind of got thinking to myself, I really want to get better at talking, and I realized the only way to get better is to talk. And I thought that podcasting would be a great way to do so because I would be by myself, or I'd be interviewing those that I'm very comfortable with, and it just helped me get to that point where I can improve myself in other aspects of discussion. So the third and final reason, why not now? I've begun to operate on this philosophy, especially when I actually embarked on my book writing opportunity. I didn't want to wait to be an author when I was 40 or 50. I wanted to be an author at 19. A few weeks ago, I'd also drawn out a 2-year plan. I usually plan my weeks, I usually plan my months, I usually plan my years, but they never go the exact way as planned. I usually get too excited and do them the day of rather than waiting for so long. So in this 2-year plan, I had written at the end of the 2 years that I'd start a podcast. And I said to myself, why not now? Why can't I start a podcast right now? And there was no reason. I could 100% start a podcast right now, especially because I'm so excited and passionate about what I'm talking about and being able to discuss with you guys my most important value of authentic living. So I guess in this podcast, my fundamental goal is to inspire you to live an authentic life. Although topics discussed won't be directly related to authenticity, they all play a role in authentic living. Additionally, not only will I be sharing my insights, but I'll also be conducting interviews with those who I truly believe have mastered the art of authentic living. I think it's important to say that I'm not an expert in any sort of field or have any specific titles. Well, I guess maybe an author. But what I can give you is some of the lessons I've learned through my own experiences, and perhaps they can help you at different times in your life. Additionally, the stories of others who I believe reflect authentic living can also help you develop your life around this whole philosophy that I'm going to be sharing with you. I had also titled this first podcast as the same as my first ever blog post. Pretty creative of me. But the thing is with me, there's something so exciting and invigorating about starting a new chapter. There are so many lessons and learning opportunities and secrets, and there's just so much content in new chapters that you can explore and learn from. It's allowing yourself to take on new adventures, like starting a podcast or starting a new fitness routine or a sport, or picking up a musical instrument and trying to play it. New chapters are something new, and they can be scary, but the lessons and opportunities from them will be invaluable and they will only serve you. And that's why I encourage you to go out today after this podcast and do something completely new that's a little bit outside your comfort zone, that's a little bit outside your element, but is intrinsically meaningful and valuable to you. I cannot wait to share with you more insights I have, to continue learning new things throughout this journey, and to bring on incredible individuals to share their stories as well. And that's the end of our first ever episode. I'm so grateful for your incredible support, and I'll see you next week. Thank you so much for taking the time to listen to The See Me Show. I am so grateful and excited to be on this journey with you to embrace the magic of authentic living. It would mean the world to me if you could review and subscribe to the show. Even better, if you could screenshot this episode and share it on your Instagram story, I would be incredibly grateful. Whether you're a new listener or an active subscriber, I want you to know that you deserve to be fearlessly authentic. See you next time.